In 1943, over 3 million people starved to death in the streets of Bengal, but it wasn't a natural disaster caused by drought. It was a calculated, man-made famine engineered by an empire that decided the lives of the working class were simply an acceptable sacrifice to keep the elite's storehouses full. It was the height of World War II. The British Empire controlled India, and they were terrified that the Japanese army might invade through the Bengal region. So, the colonial government implemented what they called the denial policy. To prevent the enemy from getting supplies, the military deliberately destroyed thousands of local boats and confiscated massive amounts of the region's rice. In a single stroke, they completely cut off the Bengali people from their own food supply, their transportation, and their ability to trade. As the local food vanished, prices skyrocketed. The working class couldn't afford to eat. But the truly sickening part is what the government did next. While people were starting to drop dead from starvation, the empire continued to export thousands of tons of grain out of India. They were shipping food past starving citizens to build up a massive reserve stockpiles in Europe. When local officials desperately begged London to stop the exports and send emergency relief, Prime Minister Winston Churchill flatly refused. He allegedly blamed the victims, stating they bred like rabbits, and coldly asked why, if the famine was so bad, Mahatma Gandhi wasn't dead yet. The streets of Calcutta became a graveyard. Mothers begged for water that rice was boiled in, just so that their children could have the starch. 3 million men, women, and children slowly withered away. And yet, right in the middle of this unimaginable horror, the upper-class elites and colonial officers were still eating lavish, multi-course meals in the exclusive, heavily guarded clubs just a few streets away from where the bodies were piling up. The resources existed, they were just hoarded by the people at the top. For decades, the empire blamed the tragedy on a cyclone or a bad harvest, but modern data proved the horrifying truth. The 1943 food supply was actually higher than in previous years. The famine was entirely created by inflation, hoarding, and a government that viewed its citizens at the bottom as utterly expendable dirt. The elite secured their own survival by deliberately starving the people they were supposed to protect. Hoarding life-saving resources for the elite while leaving the lower classes to slowly die is exactly the kind of calculated evil that fuels my #1 best-selling dystopian novel, The Gilded Shroud. When the corrupt council shuts off the air scrubbers to save their own luxury, the only option is to burn the system to the ground.